Alright, so we've reached the final part of this job. Now, this is a pretty extensive job. I think the labor time calls it for about 5.8 hours, so that's almost a 6-hour job. I think I did it in about 4 hours, or slightly under 4 hours. But yeah, it was pretty darn tedious. Alright, so we're finally ready to move the manifold out of the engine bay. Now you gotta be super careful, that way we don't break anything down there. And boom, it's out. You'll see that the fuel rail is still attached, along with some vacuum hoses. So those are the 3 bolts that hold the bottom area. And then there's some bigger ones that hold the plastic along with the fuel rail. And then there's some little holes that hold a bracket over underneath where the harness is. See these little holes right here? Those 3 are used. The other 2, I don't recall seeing anything on them. I have to say it's a funky looking manifold. And so what you're going to mostly be using for the bottom ones is a T25 for those little guys down there. And they are a butt to get to. Alright, let's begin with the removal of the valve cover. Now that PCV airbox is all the way in the back. It's funny, you can remove it technically, but they sell you the whole piece as far as I'm aware. Now I am going to attach a diagram of the torquing sequence as far as install. All you have to do is follow that picture backwards when removing it, because unfortunately they give you the installation one but they don't give you a removal one. But all you have to do is go backwards. So instead of starting from the last number, you start from the first. Actually, you start from the first number and then you move your way to the first number as far as for the removal process. I would highly advise following that, at least for the install. You don't necessarily have to do the procedure for the removal, especially if you're removing the entire valve cover. Now if you're doing the valve cover gasket, then I would probably follow the procedure just to avoid the valve cover from cracking. Any uneven pressure can cause this, molded plastic to possibly crack. So we're trying to fast forward through this as quickly as possible. Here comes our little pry bar. Now if you do use a pry bar screwdriver, just be careful not to damage the mating surface as far as the cylinder head. Here we go, that's off. Let's go ahead and clean that mounting surface area. I usually dab it and try to swipe it outwards so the debris doesn't fall inside, but everybody does it a little differently. Here is our new valve cover. It comes with gasket. It comes with all the bolts, so you don't have to take the old ones off and put them in there. That's the beauty. And here is that picture of the diagram. So see how it says 1 through 16? As far as the install, when you do tighten them down, this is the order you want to follow. If you have any questions as far as something that I possibly didn't cover, which I know I missed a lot because this was a very long video, and even when I tried to make it as short as possible, we still ended up with 40 minutes of footage, and even then I still had to try to compress it even more as much as possible. And I actually thought this was going to be 4 parts. It ended up only being 3. I would say the most difficult part of this job is just getting all the stuff to remove the intake manifold off, because once the manifold is off, everything's pretty easy. But it's the process of removing all the things that are attached behind, on the side of that manifold, that makes this job quite long. I'm sure if you're seasoned, you could probably do it in about 3 hours. I'd say 3 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. But as far as trying to do this first time, it's gonna take a little while. And hopefully nobody breaks anything. I know it can be scary. Other than that, that's it. If you did find any of these videos to be helpful in any way or form, please make sure to at least hit that like button, as it helps with all the fun technical stuff in getting our videos, or should I say bringing attention to our videos, which is nice. But yeah, that's it. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys next time.